Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today I will be going to the Prosper, Texas Walmart to go do some big box plant shopping. I apologize for not being able to have a 7 p.m. premiere yesterday. It's just with the snow and the weather, it just kind of threw me off guard. And as you can see, this is the day after getting the snow, and we still have some residual weather over here that's really cold. Texans don't do really well with this type of cold. We're not used to it, so it kind of threw me off of my schedule. But thanks to everyone who continues to tune into my live premieres and participates in the live chats. I try to get videos up at 11 and 7, but sometimes they're a little bit later. You'll see that in your feed though if you subscribe and have the notification bell on. And as you can see, we're gonna walk over here and look, they have some plants, some faux plants though. Those are some polka dot ones. This is some type of calathea looking fake plant. This one is or Peperomia obtusifolia fake plant. But anyways, we're gonna go back over here. I did a video already where I documented the first restock of this Prosper Walmart, and as you can see, they've gotten some more plants right over here. They did bring out some roses to put right next to these trending tropicals plants right here. This was the Walmart, unfortunately, that had left out a couple of pallets out in the cold for a couple of days. So there was a bunch of plants that were damaged with the cold weather. But as you can see, we do have some trending tropicals in self-watering planters. I always like looking at this Begonia maculata right here. This is for $19.97. Really nice looking begonia. I remember when these begonias were far more expensive, so now they're very affordable thanks to Costa Farms. And you can see that there was some of that cold damage that happens right over here. And I know some people are like, you don't have to worry so much about the plants. Big box stores always have that stuff happen, but you know what? Plants take a while to grow, and just the carbon footprint of having plastic, planters, the gas that it took to transport the plants, there's just a lot more steps than just to say, okay, well, the plant's gonna die. It happens in big box stores. So let me know if you agree. I know maybe I'm a little bit more passionate about that, but anyhow, this is the same Hedra Helix I saw the first time. It looks like the other one was sold. This is a Hedra Helix Gold Dust. So if you look at the variegation, it's very interesting. It looks like it's spider mite damage, and it being a Hedra Helix, if you didn't see the price or like the plant ID, you would think, okay, this one's actually not healthy, but that's just how the variegation is. And then we see some Alocasia Silver Dragon right over here. Very beautiful plant by Costa Farms. They got that trending tropical self-watering planter for $19.98. And you can see that they've kind of condensed all of their plants to make it look a little bit more full for the display. I do like that they are attempting to make the merchandising better here, and we can see right over here is a Monstera Deliciosa. I think this is $22.98. The dirt or whatever is on the leaves is actually just hard water, according to what Costa Farms said on the they commented in one of my videos, so thank you for that clarification, Costa Farms. And then we have a Dutch Staghorn Fern. This is one that I saw the other time I visited here, so it's still here. I'm hoping that we are going to see what that looks like for the plant. I really love it. It looks really nice. I'm gonna definitely get one of those Staghorn ferns to add into my home once I figure out how to mount them on a plank. And then we have some large Dieffenbachia right over here, and then we have another beautiful Monstera Deliciosa. This just has a little bit of leaf damage, but you know what? If you buy this plant, you can go ahead and just grab a pair of scissors, sanitized scissors, and just cut around the edges to make it look a little bit better. I can do a video of that on how to make your plants that are damaged a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. There is a lot of content that I'm going to be trying to give for you guys. I know that I've been doing big box stores just because they're very accessible, and I think our plant foldies, our viewers like seeing that. And as you can see, this is a new addition. This whole section is the Grower's Bench by Wild Interiors. As you can see, this is an Alocasia. I believe this is an Alocasia Ninja. No, actually, it's an Alocasia Black Velvet. The Ninja has rounder leaves. These Alocasia look like they're a little bit dehydrated, so somebody needs to water them. This is an Alocasia Milo. I love the thick leaves, the texture of this Alocasia. I ended up buying this when I first saw it at another Walmart. Very nice looking plant. These are $24.48. I don't mind paying a little bit more for a very healthy looking plant. Unfortunately, some of these plants, or at least based on what I'm looking at right now, these alocasia are just a little bit dehydrated, so somebody needs to water them. And then we see that there is an Alocasia poly, or African mass. That's a really beautiful looking alocasia right here. I would pick up this Alocasia, but unfortunately this one I've had about twice and it always gets spider mites. So I don't know if I just need to have like a straight up humidifier right next to this Alocasia to prevent spider mites. I did have a little bit of a situation with my personal plant collection with spider mites. They're just, you know, plant pests are just ridiculous. I just wish they just didn't exist. But you know, that means we just have to stay on top of our plant care. Here is a ZZ Raven, or a Raven ZZ by Costa Farms Training Tropicals. I'm actually going to buy a ZZ Raven in these self-watering planters they have. That one is for $19.98 at some point, not today, but at some point. And then we're going to take a look at this. This is another Alocasia. As you can see, their leaves are curling. This one has actually a new leaf unfurling, but somebody needs to come over to this section and start watering the plants. I saw a couple of, you know, workers over here. I would hope that they would notice that and actually water the plants. I think if I visit here next time, I'm just going to bring a water bottle and, you know, water some of these plants. I feel kind of bad just because they're beautiful plants that deserve, you know, nice homes. I always love looking at Raven ZZ new growth. Just that really bright green that turns into a dark raven black color is awesome. And then I love these cactus right over here. These are really cute. They call it the cuddly cactus. It's super cute. It looks like it's not a real cactus. It doesn't have any prickly, you know, thorns or anything. And this is by Growers Bench Wild Interior. So this is not a Costa Farms plant. I do love the planter it is in. It's got a nice design, you know, very minimalistic, and I love the terracotta orange look about it. And then obviously we are going to see a sea of Philodendron Pink Princess by Growers Bench. So this one actually doesn't have nearly as much variegation as a lot of the Philodendron Pink Princess I've seen by Growers Bench. I will say it is safe to say that most Walmarts are getting Philodendron Pink Princess, so they are flooding the market. And at this point, we can be a little bit more picky on our Philodendron Pink Princess, really look for variegation. Sometimes you might get lucky and find something like this with high variegation, or even find one that is like Philodendron Marble Galaxy or something, or Marble King, where it's got extremely gorgeous variegation. We'll see what that looks like, but look at how beautiful that particular Philodendron Pink Princess is. You know, they're called Philodendron Urubescens Pink Princess. I have about 5 of them now. I can't get over them, just because at first I used to collect them at this local grocery store called HEB, but now that Walmart has them readily available in these beautiful colors, I couldn't help but buy like 2 more. So yeah, like look at this one right here. It's unfortunate that there's a little bit of leaf damage, and then somebody please tell me why that happens with Philodendron Pink Princess. They have a little bit of damage after they unfurl. I had one that I had to kind of cut and shape up to make it look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. But yes, look at how beautiful the variegation is here. And there's several plants. These are all for $24.48. So for anybody in the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth market, if you're in the market and you want a Philodendron Pink Princess, run to Walmart as soon as possible. Definitely catch them when they have like a fresh restock, because I was at the Little Elm Walmart and I saw some of the Philodendron Pink Princess already declining in health. I do love looking at these anthurium here. I would love to add this typical red anthurium, but there was one that I saw was beautiful. It had this candy cane like variegation on eBay, so we'll see if the seller will list it again and I'll try to bid for it. But look at how beautiful this is and how lush and like compact the growth is. You know, basic plants, quote basic plants, doesn't mean that the plant isn't any better than like a rare or uncommon plant. It means they're just easy to care for. This one is another Alocasia Milo. Look at that, very stunning leaves. Their leaves are very thick. So I'm always curious as to why like something like this, an Alocasia with thick, you know, foliage would be susceptible to spider mites, but apparently they are. I'm not sure if an Alocasia Milo like gets really large leaves like an Alocasia Regal Shield. If you're in the comments or in the live premiere chats, please let me know, because I am excited to try to grow those Alocasia I recently bought to large forms. But yes, these are beautiful anthuriums. Right over here, this one has an interesting bloom right there. So the bloom is actually the yellow part or the part that sticks. It's kind of like peperonia where they have those like little rat tail looking things. Those are the blooms. And then we have some Pachira aquatica or money tree. And then I want to go back to this. Look at this leaf right here. I cannot get over this Philodendron Pink Princess. I couldn't believe that 3 or 4 years ago, like these were selling for hundreds of dollars, and now they're at a big box store at Walmart in Prosper, Texas for a fairly affordable price. And it's a good quality Philodendron Pink Princess. But as you can see, I'm going to pan away and show you that they have gotten a lot more plants. I'm curious to see how many other plants that they're going to get. And you guys know I frequent big box stores on the daily, so you will get daily content and daily updates. So if you're in the DFW market, at least you'll hear from me first to see if there's any interesting plants flooding our area. These are some beautiful orchids right over here. We have 3 different sizes. The smaller ones are for $7.94. These are really pretty as well. $7.97. Really pretty as well. Some of them are just starting to bloom. I would like pick up that one with just some buds so I can maintain some of the blooms a little bit longer. And then we have some bromeliads right here by Wild Interiors, which is actually the nursery that grows the Grower's Bench, which actually has all those Philodendron Pink Princess. I'm surprised that this Walmart didn't get any Philodendron White Knight or Philodendron White Princess. If I run into another Philodendron White Princess at Walmart, I think I'm going to pick up another one just because I want to grow like 2 or 3 on a large moss pole and really get a full plant. We'll see. Now we have some ficus ginseng bonsai. So you'll see this at big box stores like IKEA, Lowe's, and Walmart. I will say Walmart probably has the most cost-effective bonsai for this. This says just add ice bonsai. Don't do that, please. Make sure that you are actually, watering the plants with like lukewarm water. Ice might be a little too much just because I feel like ice would like shock the roots. Like imagine putting your foot in a bucket of ice. That's just not good. It's the same thing with plants and roots. So, but this is actually nice. Like I am happy to see that there are more plants at this Walmart. I just wish that, they didn't cramp it out as much. Maybe I'm just a little critical when it comes to plants. I can't really expect, beautiful merchandising or plant care as compared to like some, specialty plant nursery. It is a big box store. I do like this Hydra Helix. I almost want to get it just to see if I can grow it. But look, if you look at this Hydra Helix, doesn't it look like spider mite damage? But it's actually Hydra Helix gold dust, so it looks like some gold speckling on there. I think it's really cool. Let me know what you think. I know Hydra Helix is a hot topic that I always talk about when I do my plant video tours. Again, I am so sorry guys for last night. I just got in very late. I did film an extra long video for y'all later today, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. And it looks like they just got some more succulents right over here and our typical Majesty palms. So a viewer did mention that Majesty palms are a little bit susceptible to mealybugs, and guys, mealybugs are the death of me. They're so hard to control in terms of pests, so like I don't think I'm going to get me a Majesty palm, but I am going to go back and walk over here and just admire the beauty of these Alocasia and this Pink Princess right here. Like, wow. Wow. That is amazing. And that is for $24.48 by Grower's Bench. And then this cactus right here, this might end up actually being my first cactus, a cuddly cactus. We'll see if I add it into my collection. But as you can see, there are so many Philodendron Pink Princess at this location as well. I'm curious to see how many Philodendron Pink Princess Grower's Bench or Wild Interior has in their like nursery, just because that's a lot. I'm assuming these must be tissue cultured, just because how do you produce so many? And then also the sizes are all pretty much the same. So who knows? All I know is we're now able to get beautiful, rare, quote, rare plants for a very cost-effective and affordable price. That's the thing about plant collecting. I think back then, a couple years back, it was more about a status if you were able to afford a rare plant versus just admiring the plant, because at the end of the day, the value of the plant is based on, the desire or the need for it, or just, how many are available in the market. It's just basic economics. But now that, growers like Grower's Bench, Costa Farms have flooded the market has become less, but this is what I was talking about. So not all variegation is created equal. If I were to buy a Philodendron Pink Princess from this section, I would buy this one. This has cool speckling variegation, reminds me of a Monstera constellation. I wouldn't say this is a galaxy Pink Princess, but it does have some nice variegation, and it's a signal that it has some good genetics. So I may end up coming back for this one later down the line, but I've already blown my plant budget for the month thanks to me doing these plant videos on the daily, at least twice a day. So all right, plant foldies, this is the second Walmart relocation. This one is in Frisco, Texas, right off of Custer Road. So this was actually the day before the snowstorm. So I've got the stores a little bit backwards, but anyways, thank you guys again for staying in, tuning in to watch this part of the video. Hopefully we can find some more big box plant finds on this Walmart. I haven't been to this Walmart for a while. I went there maybe like a week or two ago, and they didn't have a restock, so we're gonna see if they actually have some plants right here. I do like the fact that they have some nice presentation in terms of their shop. And going to this Walmart when we're about to anticipate a snowstorm or just really, really cold weather, you can see there's not a lot of people out here, which makes blogging much easier. Just because whenever I'm out with my gimbal, it's a little awkward that I'm just kind of walking around filming. I try my best not to get people in my videos, just out of respect for people, because I think it would be a little bit awkward to be caught in somebody's YouTube video. So yeah, so anyways, it looks like they do have a small section of plants, so that's exciting. I mean, even if there's just a small section of plants, it's better than nothing. And maybe as the season continues to advance into the spring, we'll see some more plants. But as you can see, Walmart has the Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. This one is for $9.97. It's a nice full 6-inch potted up plant, for $9.97. This one is by Expert Gardener, which is basically Walmart's brand for outdoor plants, indoor plants. It's still grown by Costa Farms, so all of these plants are Costa Farms plants, but are sold at Walmart. This one is a Drina Janet Craig compacta for $9.97. I like this, but this is just a very common plant that you see at big box stores, grocery stores, just all over. But that's just one of those common plants that are easy to grow. And then we have a Dieffenbachia Camille right over here for $9.97 by Expert Gardener as well. This is a 6-inch pot. Now for Dieffenbachia, if you have pets, they are not pet friendly. They're extremely toxic. So even when you do propagations, you don't want to get any of the juices on your fingers, because then they'll start to swell up. It's definitely not a pleasant feeling. So just FYI for anybody who doesn't know about Dieffenbachia, they're not pet friendly at all. Here we have another Dracena. This one is a Drina Fragin, Hawaii. This one is in a 6-inch pot as well for $9.97 by Expert Gardener. So if you're looking for some cost-effective 6-inch potted up plants, definitely go to Walmart. They're the most cost-effective for sure. And then this one is $9.97 for this fern. Nice looking fern right over here. I don't really grow a lot of fern in my personal collection, but for those that do, head to Walmart. And then we have some more Epipremnum aureum over there. We have some Epipremnum aureum hanging baskets. Those are actually $10.97. I'm just going to pan out, and it looks like there are quite a bit of hanging baskets. I am about to hang some plants in my home. I finally got the hooks to place on my ceilings that can carry up to 30 pounds. So I'm excited about that, and I don't have to drill holes into my ceiling. Even though I own my home, I just don't want to drill a lot of holes into my ceiling. So that's exciting that I was able to get that. I plan to hang my Hoya carnosa Crimson Queen. So we'll see. But these are in another assortment of Costa Farms Exotic Angels. These ones are all for $4.97. This one right here is the Dragon's Tongue plant right over here for $4.97. I like the texture of the leaves. They're very serrated and just very thin and delicate. I love the purple undersides of it as well. How many of you guys that are watching or tuned in actually collect a bunch of these Exotic Angel Costa Farm plants that are in these 3-inch pots? Let me know in the comments, because it's very tempting to just go ahead and buy all of these and collect them. but I need to be very selective of what plants I place in my home. Like for instance, this mini Adam ivy, or our favorite, the Hydra Helix. This is really cute because the foliage right here, it's very compact and small. It reminds me of like a trident maple, but I love the variegation of Hydra Helix. It's a love-hate relationship. I actually really love Hydra Helix or English ivy. It's just, you know, about a week or two later from bringing them home, they end up getting spider mites. So guys, let me know what you guys do to grow Hydra Helix indoors. I really want to know because I really want to grow some Hydra Helix. Aside from, you know, the spider mite infestations that they could possibly bring. This one is a polka dot plant. Really nice looking one for $4.97 by Costa Farms. There's some pink, there's some white, but I think I saw one that had like all three colors, pink, white, and red. Yep, this is for $4.97. These are nice starter plants. For exotic angel plants, if you can find trays of them like you do at Walmart, I would buy them here above Lowe's or any other big box stores, just because the Walmart is actually $1 less. Everybody else is in the $5, like $5.98 at Lowe's, and I think as well as Home Depot when they carry exotic angel plants. But this is a really nice looking plant right here. You see the difference? There's like a red one as well in this pot. So then we have a begonia rex here. I kept on asking, hey, what's the plant ID? But you know, I had a plant Foldy viewer let me know that there are several hundreds of begonia rex. So there's not necessarily cultivar names for each one, but I do like the silver one that I've been seeing at a lot of Walmarts. I may add begonia in my collection. I might add actual like cane begonia. I feel like they're easier versus rex begonia, but we'll see. My grandmother though is an expert at growing begonia. She's been able to grow several and propagate several. Like she literally has one in such a huge pot. It's nice and bushy. It looks like a full-blown like shrub that you would see outdoors. That's how thick it is, and it's a beautiful black one that she has. Here we have another very common croton, but I have one in my collection as well. This is the Croton Gold Dust for $4.97. What I like about this croton is just look at the variegation on the leaves. It looks like somebody splattered a bunch of yellow paint on the leaves, and I am actually curious to see if I can grow this indoors. I know the crotons do best outdoors because they need a lot of light. Right now I have one growing near my east facing window next to a grow light, since it's really cold in North Dallas, especially today and just the next couple of days. This one right here is one that I bought recently. It's a snow white waffle plant. I love the pink, purple, lavender, cream variegation of this plant. I don't know how big these plants can get, but the one I have so far is growing near my kitchen window, and it's getting a lot of bright and direct sun. So I will see what that looks like for my plant. I've been spraying neem oil on it just because it is a new plant in my collection. And that's the thing, whenever you buy new plants from a big box store, you need to make sure that you are doing pest control if you're not going to isolate them. I put the systemic granules, I sprayed them with insecticidal soap, and I placed some We the Wild Protect neem oil. That is such a good product because it makes the leaves shiny and adds another layer of protection. Apparently the We the Wild Protection spray releases a pheromone that basically says that the plant is healthy. Oftentimes plants are susceptible to pests because they release a pheromone to say that they're unhappy and healthy, and that's when the pests come around, or that's what I was told. So we'll see if that really is the case. And as you can see, we do have a bunch of succulents right over here. These ones are by Element, and these are for $4.97 for 4-inch potted up succulents. I may grow some succulents. I know that when I was in California, there was a bunch of succulents that were just growing outdoors in, gosh, I forgot, like in San Jose and just areas of that part of the country. They can just grow them outdoors. And then this one is a Drina Fragin Goldie for $19.84. I was just pointing that they had some nice root systems right there. It's already popping out of the drainage holes, but look at how beautiful the green on green variegation is. I love the striping. I love Dracena. I may go ahead and add a Dracena to my collection. If I do, I may end up adding like a marginada though. I just like the very, very thin leaves. They're palm-like, so we'll see what that is entailing for me. We'll see if I actually add one in my collection. I did want to ask if any of you guys who watch my videos actually grow a bunch of Dracaena in your personal plant collection. I know a lot of times people grow like rare Aroids in general, but I'm just curious to see, and we've been doing a lot of big box plant shopping videos, and these are very common plants. You think of like Dracaena, Dieffenbachia, Epipremnum aureum, pothos, Sansevieria, Spathiphyllum. These are all very common plants that we see at big box stores. So I'm curious to see if we actually grow these in our collections. Like for instance, this is a beautiful Spathiphyllum or peace lily. Look at how large the leaves get. And when you look at it from this angle, they look so massive. It looks like I'm in just like a little mini jungle. And then obviously we cannot forget the Majesty Palm. I think Majesty Palm are great, and you can get a really nice size one at any big box store. The only thing is how many people actually grow Majesty Palm in their homes, just because I think they take up a lot of space in a home. I definitely would want to add one. I just don't have high ceilings. So here is another beautiful Calathea. This is the Calathea Medallion. I love the purple undersides and even that slight red veining within the leaves. Calathea are absolutely beautiful. I just wish they were not so finicky. I just ended up killing my Calathea ornata not too long ago. And then as you can see here, I always wonder if this is a healthy looking plant. This is the Alocasia Jacqueline. I've seen a couple of them, but I always look at the leaves, look at the leaves, it's like yellowish. Somebody told me that that's what they're supposed to look like. Are they really supposed to look like this? Just because I'm a little weary that, you know, yellow leaves like this mean that the plant has some kind of pest, or is either underwater or overwatered. Needless to say, this is by Trending Tropicals, Costa Farms. This one is for $19.84. Not a bad price for, you know, a considered rare plant. I don't know if I would ever add this Alocasia in my collection. I tend to like Alocasias that look more like dragon scale, something with more thicker foliage and rounder ones. But needless to say, maybe somebody likes that type of Alocasia. I'm just not as big of a fan. And obviously, who could forget a beautiful Philodendron Birkins? I would say Philodendron Birkins, which this one is in a self-watering pot for $14.97, is probably the most common philodendron that has such electrifying variegation. Here we have a Monstera Addandoni. There are varieties of this. This one is a Costa Farms Trending Tropical one, and I've noticed that the leaves on these Monstera Addandoni tend to be larger, so maybe it's the wide form. I do like that. And then we have a Scindapsus Trubii Moonlight. I do want to add this to my collection because Scindapsus can tolerate lower light conditions. And then here we have a Monstera Cobra or a Monstera Stadliana. Beautiful variegation for $19.84. I love this planter that Costa Farms did. It is a self-watering planter, and you can see that there is a small reservoir. We can put water there. That way it's just watering itself, where you don't have to worry about top watering it. That helps with fungus gnats, because then the top of the soil remains dry, and it just will prevent somebody from overwatering. It's just a self-watering plant. Absolutely love it. And then here is another Monstera Cobra, or that's what Costa Farms is calling it, for $19.84. I actually bought one a couple of days ago, or about a week ago, when I did a big box shopping video. And that's the problem, you know, when you guys got me going out here looking at these plants, I am so tempted to pretty much buy everything. I've added too many plants already into my home, so I've got to slow down or find a way to display them in a tasteful way. I don't want to have like a cluttered house full of plants. I definitely want to have some plant styling there. And this is a really good plant to use for styling, this Aglaonema Red Siam. Very easy to care for plant, comes in so many varieties in terms of just the pink veining. And then obviously we have an Aglaonema Silver Bay. I think people really need to give Aglaonema Silver Bay more love. It's a common plant, but it's an easy plant that can get very, very large in no time. But yes, Aglaonemas, if you watch my videos, I always preach and tell everybody to look into Aglaonemas. Add Aglaonemas into your collection for sure. And I am just panning out to show you that there isn't as many plants here, but you know what? At least more plants are being put into the market in Walmart. And then right here is actually probably the best plants in the section. And these are the Epipremnum aureum, lemon meringue pothos. I was calling it merengue, but it's meringue pothos. What I love about this pothos is it is basically a mutation of the global green pothos, which was fairly expensive about 3 to 4 years ago. Now it's super common, and now we have this mutated version that Costa Farms has pretty much made their own plant with. I love the yellow leaves, and the thing about these type of pothos is the more light you give it, the more prominent the variegation is. And I've noticed that with my global green pothos, if I give it not as much light, you won't see the variegation. It ends up looking more like an emerald green pothos versus a global green. So I would say to get the yellow variegation, you definitely need to give it a lot of bright indirect light. My suggestion is go ahead and flood this pothos with a nice grow light. I've literally got a couple of plants that literally stay under a glow light for 24/7, and it has not burned it. They haven't crisped. If anything, their variegation has just improved, and their growth pattern and growth habit has grown a lot faster using a grow light. So that's what I would suggest, and this is why I love me some pothos. I will be hanging a couple of hanging basket pothos soon, but this is another plant that I am in the works of trying to get. I do have a couple of cuttings that I'm propagating just for my personal collection, so we'll see. They just take a little bit longer to root in water for some reason, or that's what I noticed. But as you can see, we've got several plants available. It's a small selection, but it's enough to where if you wanted to pick up a cost-effective common plant for $9.97, go with Garden Expert. There's some exotic angels right over there, and then we're just gonna walk over here. It looks like they have a little bit more of overflow. There's a couple of more larger plants here. These are for $19.84. We've got a spathiphyllum, another Dracaena cane, some Epipremnum aureum, golden pothos, sansevieria. We've got some dormant roses. So I actually have had a rose garden. I may just go ahead and collage some footage of my old rose garden if you want to see. It was a bunch of variegated roses. And we've got some succulents by Element right over here, just a variety. Like I said, again, I may get into succulents. I have one succulent, and that is the wax ivy. That looks basically like a Hydra helix, but it's not. So it's not going to give me some spider mites. But anyways, I just wanted to show you a couple of trending tropicals right here. So we have that Alocasia Jacqueline. We have an Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue. We've got a cobra, Monstera cobra. And I'm just going to look at a couple of these planters here. So I will say Walmart has stepped it up in terms of its planters. They're going for more of a modern contemporary vibe, which I love. You know, with the bold colors, we've got some green, some pink, some cream, some whites. Really like that. I am going to be doing a video comparing big box planters and what to do with the styling, what plants that you could use to pair these planters with. So stay tuned for that next video. But as always, plant Foldies, thank you so much for always tuning into my live premieres at 11 and 7 p.m. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.